What are you doing in there? You might be in there. You're in there. Big bug of you. Right, yeah, right, good, in here, good, right, good, no, in, we're going, right, stay, right, we're good. Right, sit nice, I'm coming back, right, and then we're going. Jesus man, look at my seat, bro. So Audi Q3 I think is still outside, we can't get it to starts and cuts it and we can see why, okay? So all the ones that's all greyed out is the modules it's not talking to. So engine control module, we should be talking to that. Traction control module, all wheel control, might not have that. It's not talking to the video either. So what is it talking to? Power assisted steering, not talking to that either. Electronic park brake module. Yep, so it's not talking to a lot of modules, and the ones it is talking to, we've got a lot of, obviously there's a lot of voltage ones because the battery was flat, but I'll show what's happened to with this one. So I'll need to save all of this now, report to cloud, and we'll get the details, and then we'll need to get another look at this car. I need to drag it into the workshop and start looking at the wiring and fuses and all that kind of stuff. Start with the fuses first, the basics. Get a copy of this, so oh, look, right, they won't clear, so I think I'm definitely looking at bad wiring somewhere. Bad wiring, I would pop the fuse or something. Well, the important bits it's not talking to it. It's funny, it does start. It does actually start the car. Done pause here. A bit of Jerry cinnamon bun. He remembers. Right, so it starts going to it. And then on the second go it doesn't do nothing, so seems to if you cycle ignition. I've not really looked at the car while I'm charging the battery. It came in yesterday on the truck, so right, I'll just leave this in there. We'll leave this just now because it's raining. We'll get it dragged in tomorrow probably now. Get some bodies and we'll need to connect all the air lines up because it's got a completely flat tyre, so we'll need to draw the air line out here. That tyre's completely flat on it. Right, so Audi Q3, it don't have no communication with its engine ECU. It's not got much communication with EHOT, to be honest with you. A couple of modules it's talking to. Just popped this cover off. This might not be what's wrong with it, right? But something for 100% has been eating away at that cover. Right? That's not just natural wear and tear, that's what you call mice or rat, one of the two. No sure. And you think to yourself, no way a rat's got in there. Trust me, a rat get in there nice and hot in there at night, so he goes up there and gets a wee heat. A wee mouse, whatever, squirrels you don't want, right? Even when we look down there, right, it is all full of some rodent shells of some sort. So, we'll need to, I think, check all the fuses. Find the engine ECU fuse, check that, and then take it for there basically. Check the wire and check the feeds into it. See, but what I do know is I charged this when it came in. Was recovered in Friday morning, we charged it up, the car would start, cut out, same as what it did at the side of the road with the jump leads on it, to be honest with you. So we just put it on the truck and brought it here. So, I need to find out why it's not communicating with its engine ECU and all the rest of the modules. So we're looking at the Audi Q3 again, we've checked all the fuses there, checked all the fuses underneath the dash as well. I've not found any blowing, so either looking at a module failure, Central Electric's module possibly, a broken wire, engine ECU maybe. You can see there's been water dripping on it. You can just see the corner, there's a bit of water on it there. Whether or not there's a plastic cover of it, whether or not that's the bother, I don't know. So we'd need to check, put on grounds to that. But we'll go and have a look and see. I just came in on Friday, but charged the battery. Charged the battery up, and when the battery was charged, then we started having a wee look at it, scanned it for fault codes, and this is what we had. So instrument cluster, aircon, no communication, no signal, so steering angle sensor. So from here down, Central Electric's module, right, steering angle sensor, no signal, engine control unit, no signal, airbag, no signal, no communication, electronic part, brake module, power steering module. So this here is the one that we need to look into, basically. This one with all the Central Electric issue cloud reports. Be this one here, so I can see all the modules that it's spoken to. And this is all the faults, so no communication basically. Central Electrics is the one that had the most fault on it. Electronic Central Electrics, so this one here I think is our issue, this module. So these are the ones it's spoken to, so it's not talking to engine control module and the rest of these modules here, the steering, brake module and that kind of stuff. All the important bits it's not talking to, so we cleared the faults and they just came straight back. Right, so looking at this Audi Q3, that relay is getting a bit hot, but I have swapped it with another one. Might just be a relay or something like that, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to unplug this. I've buffed the bolts off it I've not got any communication with engine ECU. Hold on, we'll go back, see. Right, so there's an update now there to do. So we're not talking to engine control module, brake module, anti-theft we're talking to. So engine and brakes, airbag, power steering. That is one interesting thing, because the power steering seems to be on, right? At the minute, I'm not sure it should be running, but the car will start and cut it, which is strange. So I don't think the ECU is buggered. Yeah, because it does start. Let's see if it'll start now. Yeah, it starts, it conks back out again, and then it will never go again. It'll just crank. Missed the clutch. Will not kill the battery. I've got the two headlamps unplugged as well. So obviously a lot of voltage. I've had the battery on, off, charged it. So we are talking to the central electrics module and the gateway module, instrument cluster, steering column electrics. So I'm not quite sure yet. J540 no signal communication. I think I need to try and figure out where that is, J540. I think we'll look into that. No communication, no signal, no communication. No signal communication engine control unit, we know that much. This is all aircon one. The modules it's talking to, but it's pretty. Relay for headlamp washer system open. That could be me pulling relays out it. Activation relay for horn. Right, that's probably me. The valves and stuff like that. That's been me swapping relays around. See if it made any difference. Data bus train faulty. There was some U codes, I'm sure, or some missing information. I do have a copy. A lot of these codes could have been created by me. I do have a copy of when it originally came in, which was Friday. So I've took the belt sander to that and we'll unplug it. It doesn't look like there's been any water in there, and I don't know if these are pulling for going. I don't think this is the case. I'm just wanting to unplug it just to check the pins. But I think the fact that we're not talking to that and the brakes and a few other modules, power steering I think was it, or airbag, it might just be a relay. I'm not sure yet. Got the Bosch ECU out. I don't see, it's not cruddied up with corrosion or anything like that. So, and the pins don't have any blue tinge on them. The only thing I'm going to have a wee nose at. Put that in the car actually. Put that in there just now. Turn my machine off. The only thing I'm going to have a wee butcher's at. It's just this wire, and I've already scraped that back. That was all chaff there, and you can see there's a wee bit opened up there, so there was a wee shiny bit in there. Hopefully I find a bad wire. Don't know yet, not sure. I'm still, my gut feeling tells me it's maybe a relay, but I'll need to check this and see what's going on. We don't have any communication with it. Although the thing starts up, I can't ever seem to. You'd think it would start, we'd manage to get, at least a brief communication with it, but we don't. So I will open this wiring up and just have a wee nose at it. We get Haynes Pro workshop manuals. They're not always accurate with wiring diagrams, so we'll have a wee butcher's physically just with eyeballs first and have a look to see. Enough, there's a shiny bit in there. There's a bit that's bared, so that could be African. Might not be, but there is definitely a bit in there which is bare. See it? Right there. Not good, Audi. Not good. That one down there. They miss a beat. Obviously I'm looking at that bit here, this wire, right? You can see we've got two wee bare bits in it, right? So there's one there and there's one there, right? So I don't see any of the other wires if they're bared, right? So I will need to try and establish what wire is what and if they have power on them. But if one's like that, right, there's probably more like that. That wire there doesn't look too clever either, this green one. it's not bared, but I certainly don't like the way that looks. It's probably okay, but anyway, I've obviously taken that cover off to have a look in there at the wire and cut the cable tie, etc. Right, you just put a wee hook in it and pull it, it slides off, right? So, but I've not done this, there's no way I've done this, right? It's been that's done that bit there, right? So, it might not be the fault either, but look at the wire. Jesus, look at the wire's squashed in there, so that one is quite a big terminal. Let me see if I've got power there. So that could be the issue. Right, so you can see I have put my test lead in there, right? So, you're not meant to do that, right? And even that terminal there was quite tight going in, right? But I've just gently pushed it in, right? Don't force that into it. Do not do that, right? Do not do that. We'll see if I've got any power here. Not sure if I meant to have power on it, but we don't anyway. 12 volts. Let's come out there anyway. Right, so none of those big wires that I can see have got any power on them. Getting a bit OTT with torches, man. Right. Turn them off, I think, so we'll back and check that manual. Oh, it's not starting, it's not getting any power to the engine control unit, but the why is the question. So there is that one there saying it's a power supply control unit for the ECU. Location E6. The power supply control unit is behind the dash. In there somewhere. Does it tell us the colour of the vials? If they're right. Black, red and green. So, red and green, black and red, green and yellow. I'm going to have a look at the car. Right, let's see. Don't you fall. So there's a red and green. There's 1, 2, 3, red and green. It's obviously been like that for the day I left the factory, but it's not great, but I mean it should probably still be able to take power in there. We don't seem to have any power on any of these big chunkies, which I would assume we would have. And I'd need to follow all the wiring diagram, but I think I'm just going to need to trace this wiring back because obviously I've found that one bit is bared. So I will need to check and see if there is any more. So maybe get one of these wires broken somewhere. So that's the job for another day now. I need to speak to the customer, see how many doubloons he wants to put into it. Right, so having a wee noise, we've removed this airbox. We know we're not talking to ABS pump, which is in there as well, but we'll get to that in a minute. I just spotted something else, so this wiring was looking all kind of crap here, so I'm going to have a wee look in here. It might not be anything broken, but certainly it does look a bit powdery. So we'll have a wee look, see if we can get this back and see if we can see anything. I know there's wires bared up at the ECU, so maybe there's somewhat rotten and bared in here, I'm not sure. I'll have a wee butchers and see. Right, so Audi Q3, I've not found any bad relays so far. Opened up this one just to have a look at the contact on it. So I'm not getting any communication with ABS, airbag, ABS and engine ECU. We're not talking to that. I now know that the ECU, although we don't have any power going to the ECU that I've found so far, the ECU must be, I've not checked all the wires, but to be honest with you, I just had a poke about at the big ones. But the ECU, as you can see there, that's me just touching the clamp for the plug. So that ECU must be commanding that relay. So the relay is not doing what it's meant to. Which is strange. I don't see any rot on this ECU. I don't see any rot on it. And it does crank and start one time, start it now. As expected, we got a load of codes for no communication. And we don't have an EML on the dash at all. It actually fires up once. It's quite intermittent that, so it'll fire up once. See, so I'm going to send the ECU away. Oh, there you go, engine management light there now. But I'm going to scan. Right, so I should have listened to myself. So obviously I was testing this with it unplugged. Well, I was front probing. So, but that was not going to work because now I know how it works. So that relay. So sorry, the ECU commands that relay. If you don't have the ECU plugged in, it doesn't get any power to the ECU. So, but I do have power on those two, that red and green one there, and come back out. I do have power on that one as well, and I'm sure I do on this other one. Yes, I do. So those 1, 2, 3 big red and green ones have power. Range Pro states that there's another module. Go back to my computer. Right, so I've gone with I've checked all these fuses, triple checked them all. Obviously the fuse box looks slightly different to the one we've got, but it's not too bad. So I've checked every fuse in there. I've checked the fuses in the car. I've checked the relays as well. Just putting power on them, see if it works. So not sure. If we go back another one, that's the, we can see here, take the flash off, right? So this one, engine ECU, steering lock control, glow plug control module, interior heating relay, starter motor. This one's interesting, but because the power steering's on all the time. Now that could be because, that could be a failsafe, I don't know. Could be a failsafe because it's not talking to the ABS or the engine. So it could be a failsafe, it would give you something, some steering. So another main relay, and then this power supply control unit. So maybe need to send this ECU away on the Q3. This other day on the Q3 when I was trying to crank it, the, what do you call it? This flex was burst on it. So obviously we're looking at why we're not talking to power steering. Sorry, we're not talking to engine ECU or ABS. Now we'll go back. I've had to go back and back and back, but we'll go back and look at the wiring diagram. Into, if we go back to ECU, so if we go back, right, and we go to engine ECU, wherever that may be. Pause here. Right, so when we go back in here to the wiring diagram, if it loads up, right, that's your engine control module, that's your engine ECU, main relay, starter motor relay, electronic steering wheel control unit, right? And you go to location on that. Location, is that E35, is that the... It's not showing it. Electronic steering wheel control unit, engine control unit, so those two are connected. So, location but right, so I think that's the ABS pump there. What is that one? Lane detection. So, hold on. Right, I might have made a mistake here, but I will have a wee look. I'm going to show you in a minute. So, electronic steering wheel control unit on the steering column. Right, so if we now come down here to steering, power steering control unit. Power steering control unit. Fuse, location. is E13 on the steering box. It must be on the rack, so I'll go and show you this. It might be nothing to do with this, right? It might just be coincidence, but obviously the exhaust flex has been split on it. It's been split for a while, but it looks like it's actually started melting. The plastic guard there, and there's wiring under there. So we'll need to get a butcher's here and see what's went on there. I'd definitely say it's got a bit hot in there and got a bit melty. So I wonder if they're fused together. What else other wiring's in there? Oh yes, there's more in there. Oh jeez, right, so I need to see if I can get that unplugged. There's it getting plugged in. Oh no, it's all greasy up there. No, Jesus. Jesus. Right, so there's the big wire, I can't see it. There's this big wire going. Right, see if I can lower this down a wee bit, see if I can get into that. Right, so I've managed to get the big one unplugged. That's for your oil level sensor, but I can't get the other wee one. You can see the tab. I've managed to get the tab for it, which is lying in the subframe. But I think I've already started slacking the subframe on it. I think I'm going to just drop the rack down, so I need to disconnect it inside. Obviously that's what's caused the wire in that exhaust. I've not done that, it's been burst. So all that wiring's all melted together. So I'm going to get that down, inspect it all, and see what's happening there. I think that's melted onto that. So that's CAN lines. So that could be why I have no communication with ABS pump and engine ECU. So I think we'll need to fix that first, and then if it's still no going, then we need to send the ECU away. It's already been damaged. So, but I don't think that's the case, because surely we've no damage to ABS and your ECU. So I'm hoping once we sort the communication lines, which are these, if they are damaged, I think it's melted to that, so I'm pretty confident it will be. So, and I need to see the rest of it, obviously. Right, so the big Audi Q3, I keep calling it Q5, it's not, it's Q3. So I've lowered that steering rack down at the moment, right, so as I can get into this wiring. So if we have a look in here, right, you'll see it plugs in on that side where my torch is, and you can just see up there is the little red tabs to them, see it? So that was me trying to get the plugs off of the rack in place. There's another one which is going up there, which is possibly a steering angle sensor, just judging by where it is. But I think that one will be okay, because it's away from where the heat was, if you see it. So where can I stick the torch? To there. So you can see up here, right, obviously that's all melted to death, right? I've taken the wee plastic clip off. I do need to take the plastic off, but you can see up here, right, it is all melted together, right? So that's not good. There you go. So there's bare wire there, which has been onto that bare wire there, which is not good. And this one here, it's all melted. Yep, it's all melted onto that, and there's more bare wires. So we'll need to get the rest of this out now, and we'll need to fix this wiring. And hopefully it goes. Then what we'll need to do is we'll need to take the steering rack off altogether. We'll leave it like this just now on the stand, so we can plug it all back in, just put a couple of bolts in finger tight to hold it, and then hopefully she starts up and runs, because what she does at the minute is just starts, conks it, starts, conks it, starts, conks it. So we'll need to fix these lines, because any kind of resistance on these CAN lines, and this is the kind of issues we start getting, there's no communication with modules and stuff like that. So we'll need to take all that back. We'll need to open that up now and have a look at the rest of it. I've cut that wire there so as I can untwist them. Doesn't seem to be any damage further up than there. So you can see just from here, there's this other one. So that one there, there's got a wee bare bit in there. So I'll check these lines. I'll check the resistance. There should be 0. Well, I'm going to check for here down to the pin, and if there's 0, then we'll if there's resistance in it, then we'll chop the bad bits out, the bits that have been all melted, which is here. Focus. One bit right there, another bit just there, Okay, focus. There you go. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bits just on that wee bit there. So, and then I'll show if there's any more. Obviously it's been melted onto here, you can see that it's been melted onto it. So these big thick lines should be okay. So I will tape them up. You see how difficult the plug was to get off. Did not want to come off, never been off. So we'll fix that. Right, so we'll check these wires now. Right, let's see if we can get it to go without moving the steering wheel. Right, so we don't want to move that steering wheel, because if we do, we'll damage that clock spring, so we don't want that, so we shall have to be very careful. So, I've repaired the wiring, and I then need to put it all back together. If this is successful, I'm confident, but I'm confident can lines do not like any kind of interference with that steering wheel. Now, I've got a glow plug light flashing, which I didn't have before. And good news, my engine management light is now there. That's a success, because what it would do is it would start and it would conk out again. So obviously I've got headlamp unplugged at the moment. I've got both headlamps unplugged, right? Obviously I've got ABS light there still. So there's maybe more damage on it. Obviously I've not cleared the codes, and really worried that that moves. Obviously you can see we've got a load of bits stripped off it. Quite confident I can now put the contact cover back on here. Do it without damaging it. Right, so that's that back on. So that's what it's been then. It's been those wires that's been all melted. So that just shows you that sometimes inspecting the full vehicle can shed a lot of lights on other things that you may think wouldn't be affecting it, like an exhaust flexi. You'd think surely that's not the cause of the vehicle not running, but it was. The damage was already done. So there you go, sometimes you're better just inspecting the whole car. Right, so it seems to be fixed anyway, that issue seems to be fixed. So like I said, we'll now have to, that's the longest the vehicle has ran. I've had it, and I'm going to switch it off now because, and I'll pause here, okay? Right, so you can see I've got the wiring for the oil level sensor. It's not ran the right way at the minute, and obviously none of this isn't put back in at the minute, so you can see it's all taped up, and I'm happy with the repair. So it's actually like I've missed a tiny little bit. Jeez, so I missed a tiny wee bit, so I do need to tape all that up, and then we need that DPF off, unfortunately. So the flexi, yeah, see it, it's part of that. So there's no way I'd be able to weld that in there like that. So, oh well, that's good. That's good. Somebody's not put the bolt back up in there, so that's maybe why it's broke. So then that means, like, so somebody's had that off before, not put the bolt back in, that DPF up there, but there's two there on the back, so two and a clamp, and the subframe and that out the road, and that should be able to come down through there, and then I should be able to size that up and get the butter maker out and weld in a new flexi. New flexies. So basically that's what we need to do, chop the flexi out it. I don't see, sometimes have an odd, but you can see what we had to do with that one, So we chopped that one, right, and the flexi actually came with a flange. So it came with that part on it, so that was handy. They didn't tell me, but I had a repair kit. So there might be a repair kit out there for this car, because the DPF would be very expensive, but at least we know the thing's running, so that's half the battle. So back on now to Q3. We know it's running now, so hopefully we now have communication. It doesn't look like we've got communication with some stuff still. And the control module's got 20 faults on it. So, electric parking brake, transmission control module. A lot of that's maybe stuff it's not got. Starter does not turn, mechanically blocked of electrical malfunction. So obviously, hopefully all of these are because it was getting voltage for the steering rack. So aircon, electronic. Lots more codes now. Parallel parking, airbag, steering column. So hopefully these are all right. So let's see what we're not talking to. So I need to save all of these. Brakes, no response. Right, so save all this data. Right, so 1 million fault codes. See if we can get rid of some of these. So that's sent. We'll erase and see what it will do. 2 in engine management. 4 in central electrics. 1 in airbag. So we'll see what these faults are. Right, so lost communication with ABS module. Let's go and see if that's plugged in. Right, so the ABS module was still unplugged, so we'll fault scan again and see if we can get rid of some of these hanger owners. And then hopefully it's just a case of fixing the TPF and getting it off the ramp. It's been on there all week. So lost communication with ABS, brake system, drivetrain, blah 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 blah, steering angle sensor. So let's see if we can clear them all now. My torch on flat. Quick erase. It's better. It's better. Blasphemy. Central electrics day. Power steering. There's one in there still, damn you. Steering angle sensor for power assisted steering. Could have damaged that. I've not turned the steering a full turn, so I could have damaged it. Light switch impossible. It's unplugged. Instrument panel, it's unplugged. Steering wheel, not sure about that then. So can plug these ones back in. Right, let's try again. Now I've plugged some more bits in. Right, so just one fault on it, power angle sensor, steering angle sensor for power assisted steering. I wonder then if that other wire has been damaged then. Start the thing up, see what it's doing. Right, so we've not got any glow plug light flashing or anything like that anymore. I do have a steering light but and a steering light and a anti-skid light, and for whatever reason a headlamp light, so there's maybe still one unplugged in here. Not sure. So as you can see, we've got obviously the steering disconnected in there and the dasher stripped in and a bit of the floor stripped off it. So now we'll need to repair the DPF and then see about this wiring here. Maybe need to just have another wee nosy at that wiring on that rack.